What's going on, guys? So a lot of people probably think, and I've fell into the camp as well of when you're growing things, um, gardening, homesteading, whatever you want to call it, you think about edible things. Well, not everything that you grow has to be edible, and I'm going to show you a super easy plant to grow that literally takes no maintenance if you plant it in the right places, and is a way for you to make your own shampoo. And that is this right here. Not this. This is invasive air potato. It's a type of yam, but it's poisonous. This right here is shampoo ginger. And the reason it's called that is because it makes these flower cones. And you can see here that it actually produces little flowers, and they come out like that. There are certain ginger varieties, like spiral ginger, that you can eat the flowers that come out of it. I don't know if you can eat these. I don't think that they taste very good if you do. This stuff is literally taking over the place. This happens every summer here. But this right here, you can kind of see, is full of liquid, and it smells really good, and it is great to use to make a shampoo, a completely natural shampoo. You can simply just squeeze this and put it in your hair like a leave-in conditioner, or you can do what I'm doing. This is one. I have another container in there that's a small mason jar that's full, but I'm putting it in here and just freezing it, and then once I get enough, or as much as I think is sufficient, I will make my own shampoo. And it's really easy. You just use some of this, like I use the liquid Castile soap, and then put something like argan oil or something in there, like a hair healthy oil, so that this doesn't totally well, this won't dry your hair out, but the soap will. But completely natural shampoo, works really well. Like I said, you can use this just as a leave-in conditioner, which I've done that too. If I'm out here, you can squeeze it and just put it in your hair. But all you have to do, and this is going to be kind of tricky with me holding the phone and doing it, but you would squeeze this and collect the juice that comes out of this flower cone. You can see it coming out there. And you don't want to squeeze too hard, you don't want to crush it, but there it goes. You can see it really well there, and I just catch as much of it as I can. Now, some people will cut these flowers off and squeeze them, which you can do. You can come out, and when the flowers are nice and full, you can see some of it in there. When the flowers are nice and full, you can cut them off and then hold them over something and squeeze them. I don't do that. I leave them here because it will fill up again, especially when it rains and the ground gets wet and the plant has it pulls up a lot of water. It'll all come up into here, and this will fill up again and be full of more juice, and you can come out and keep squeezing it. And here's a bunch here, but it'll just keep producing and keep producing, and this will last through the fall. You don't really have to pull these flowers out, but I just do to get them out of the way. But these flower cones will last through fall, and once the air starts cooling off and stuff like that, and the gingers start to go dormant, these will dry up and die off, and then start again next year. And every year they produce a few more. If you can see, this is the plant part here with the leaves, and then coming up from the ground off of this plant is where these flower cones come from. So I'm just gonna do the same thing and you're not going to be able to get all of it, but yeah, you just squeeze. Let me try doing like this. You want to be careful though, I don't want to snap this off, but squeeze it. You don't have to baby it, but you don't want to squeeze the life out of it, because you can kill the flower cone and then it'll die off, and I don't want to do that. I want it to keep producing the juice. So same thing here. I'm gonna have to scoot this back some. Now the one thing is, you need to filter it. I just run it through, like, you can run it through a strainer or a colander. You can run it through if you've got cheesecloth, but I don't know if you can see, there's dirt, and a lot of times there'll be like little tiny bugs and stuff, because they'll get the nectar from those flowers. So I'm gonna do the rest. There's a couple more over here. But yeah, and there you go. And like I said, I just put it, I'll keep filling this up and then freezing it, and whenever I've got enough, and whenever it's finished. But this year I definitely have more than I had last year, and that tends to be what happens, is that it produces more and more and more every year that it comes back. Not only does the plant spread underground with the roots, the rhizomes, but it will produce more of those cones. And usually it's about July, sometime in July. Now some people's a little earlier, some a little later. It all depends on your plants, but usually sometime around July it starts to produce those flower cones. And then once you can tell when they're full, because they'll look nice and swollen, but you can also give them like a light squeeze to see if there's any juice in it. And once you start harvesting it, the cones first come up. You can see when I showed them, they were green with a little hint of red. By the end of the season they'll be completely red. They come out completely green, and eventually they'll turn completely red. But as long as they're there, and as long as they're not dried up, you can continue to harvest the juice out of them. And you can freeze it until you need it, and then thaw it out. It actually thaws pretty quickly. And yeah, and then you can make a simple shampoo with 3 ingredients. It's completely 100% natural, and yeah, and it cleans your hair, it conditions your hair. There's a lot of good stuff in this. Shampoo ginger is not edible. The roots, I think, like, you can eat them, but I think that they are very, very bitter, so people don't eat them. But seriously, I don't do anything to these plants. I hardly ever water them. I don't ever fertilize them, and they are growing and spreading all in here. And yeah, go get you some shampoo ginger, and I'll be back soon with another video. Thanks for watching.